This is TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Over 2 million men worldwide choose Manscaped for all their below-the-waist needs. For those that love the Lawnmower 3.0, well, I got news for you. The Manscaped engineering team has confirmed that they have successfully created the Lawnmower 4.0. The Lawnmower 4.0 gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. The new trimmer even allows you to customize your trim all through additional guards lengths, sizes 1 through 4. And looks-wise, it's sleek with a two-tone matte and gloss finish, even features a hot foil stamp, black chrome Manscaped logo. Show your mower off loud and proud. Go to manscaped.com, use the promo code State of Saints, and you will save 20% off of the Lawnmower 4.0 as well as other Manscaped items. That's manscaped.com. Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, as well as the State of the Game podcast. And whether you're listening on the State of the Saints or the State of the Game, we're talking about the NFC, AFC Divisional round of the playoffs. And whether you're a casual sports fan, a diehard sports fan, you have to admit, this was by far one of the greatest rounds of the playoffs I have ever seen. I'm just going to put it out there. I have never seen such a great edge of your seat, on the tip of your toes. You feel your heart beating. I mean, every single game, man, was absolutely amazing. So for that, I just want to give all of those Warriors on that field a round of applause, man, because you can tell how much the Lombardi Trophy means to these guys. You see how these guys really want it. In every single game that I watched, every single player, in my opinion, left it all on the field. And we're going to be breaking down those games, man. We're going to be breaking them down. And, of course, we're going to be answering your questions, all right? But first, I want to give myself a round of applause. That's right. That's right. I want to give myself a round of applause because if you checked out the State of the Saints Minute, the new podcast that's available right now on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all streaming networks, you would have seen that I, TJ Jones, predicted every single game in the divisional round correctly. Every last one of them. I was 4 for 4. I was hitting them out the park. I was batting 1,000. Your boy did not miss this week. Okay, so I just want to make that clear right now. I am patting myself on the back because that was tough as hell to do. Okay, but anyway, man, excitement. I know most people that's following on the State of the Saints podcast, we're a little bummed out watching some of these teams. We felt like the Saints probably would have gave these guys a run for their money. Probably would have been more exciting, but let's talk about the games that took place on Sunday, okay? We're going to talk about the games that took place on Saturday, but if you're watching this right now live, you know that the games happened not too long ago. I'm recording this at 10:21 Eastern Standard Time, so just got finished the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills game that went into overtime. And Patrick Mahomes doing what Patrick Mahomes does, throws the pass in the right side of the end zone. Travis Kelce, toe drag swag. They're on their way to the AFC Championship. First off, I want to say to the Buffalo Bills, they have absolutely nothing to hang their head in shame about, okay? This was a game where this was like Rocky II, you know, like when both of these guys wanted the match, right? They were slugging each other, Rocky swings, and then Apollo Creed swings, and then Rocky swings, and they both knocked themselves on the canvas, and whoever got up first was the person that was going to win. That is what this was, man. These guys left it all on the field. Josh Allen kept a lot of plays alive with his feet. I mean, he was out there running guys over. I mean, it was like I was watching Taysom Hill out there the way Josh Allen was running folks over and scrambling with his feet. He left it all out there. A hell of a warrior. Gabriel Davis, I don't know what his contract situation is, but this man made himself a lot of money in this game tonight. Okay, 4 touchdowns. The Kansas City Chiefs had absolutely no answer. And I do mean no answer for this dude, man. 4 touchdowns in the postseason, saying it's a record, which I feel that's kind of weird, man. They got, I don't know, because I can remember back in the day, and maybe some of my analytic people that keep me on my toes can go ahead and check this out. But I remember very vividly being a young kid watching the New Orleans Saints take on the St. Louis Rams in the Superdome when the Saints won their very first playoff game. And I thought that wide receiver Willie Jackson had 4 touchdowns in that game. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe he had 3. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't have 4. But somebody check that out for me. The first Saints playoff win, when Eric Brooks led the Saints to their first win, when Akeem dropped the ball, I would have swore that Willie Jackson had 4 touchdowns in that game, but I digress. The Kansas City Chiefs, they fought hard. The defense in the secondary definitely let them down. They could not stop Josh Allen at all. But what happened with the Buffalo Bills? They gave Patrick Mahomes the ball. They gave him the ball with too much time left, and he just did what Patrick Mahomes does, and he just dominated. He dominated, and man, it was great to watch. I ain't gonna lie to you. But Kansas City Chiefs going to the AFC Championship. They're going to be taking on the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow, which I know a lot of us that follows on the state of the Saints, they're rooting for Joe Burrow. But, I mean, you can also root for the Kansas City Chiefs because on the opposite side, you got Tyrann Mathieu and you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a guy that was a part of that national championship team with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. So it should be interesting, man. Joe Burrow has a lot of what Patrick Mahomes has inside of him. You know that these guys are tough. They're rough. They're not going to want to give up, and it's going to be fun to watch that game. But now it's time to move on to the other game. The other game that a lot of the members of the Who Dat Nation can't wait to talk about. I'm talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. This game right here made me question the National Football League. I'm not going to lie to you. There was a little part of me, if you follow me on social media, there was a little part of me that felt in my heart of hearts, in my soul, that there could be a possibility that the National Football League is rigged. I'm dead serious. I mean, the calamities, the Benny Hill type calamities, the football follies that I seen after the Los Angeles Rams had a commanding lead. I was really sitting on my couch like, no, man, can't be. When I seen that Eric Weddle had really no reason to go ahead and tee off on Mike Evans, and that could have been a flag that gave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers an automatic first down in the goal line. For a second, I ain't going to lie to you, I started to think maybe they have some type of investment in Tom Brady. Maybe it's the fact that it's Tom Brady. They don't want him to look bad. So maybe they have him out here, you know what I'm saying, making things go his way. I'm not going to lie to you, man, because I don't want to believe that the Los Angeles Rams were about to wet the bed the way that they were about to wet the bed. I don't want to believe that a team that was getting so much pressure on Tom Brady, if he was a tire, he would have exploded. I mean, they were absolutely dominating the line of scrimmage. I'm talking about Aaron Donald slapping this guy around. That was one play, I ain't going to lie. Number 45 got free. I don't know who it was for the Rams. Number 45 got free. And, I mean, he could have teed off on Brady, but he just stopped in the middle of a crucial situation. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Then you had Matt Gay, who let the ball just flail up in the air like he has a club and he trying to hit the green. You know what I'm saying? From the rough. what the hell is going on? I mean, I did not know what was going on, but I can tell you what happened. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost. That's what happened. Now, I'm pretty sure you probably got some Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans that's probably going to come on here and talk about how they fought like warriors and they fought valiantly and they almost won. I mean, look, check this out, man. Check this out. Now, I understand completely. I do. I understand how that goes. But like the old song goes from Brandy, almost doesn't count. It's rather you win or you lose. And tonight, on this Sunday, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost. Okay? Straight up, flat out lost. All right? Yeah, I know some of y'all probably going to say, well, we know we didn't have no wide receivers. But y'all want to come in and talk about the Saints not making the playoffs, and the Saints have been playing wide receivers all season, could have 4 different quarterbacks. But this is what happens. This is what happens with that nation and sports fans all across the world. This is what happens when a fan base that has not been used to winning actually finds some levels of success. They feel like they can go after everybody. You know, you had the Buccaneers fans, even though they played the Eagles and the Saints were out the playoffs, you still had them pushing at Saints fans. And I know why. Because we all know that Tampa Bay Buccaneers want what the Saints have. They want the credibility, the cachet, the love, the respect. But you don't get none, okay? And it's for reasons like this, okay? No respect given. You had an opportunity, okay? You had an opportunity to host the NFC Championship game at home. You seen the Green Bay Packers wet the bed the night before, and you could not get it done. All right. What was all this late game heroics in the first quarter? What was Scotty Miller at in the first quarter? Huh? What was Johnson in the first quarter? Okay, Mike Evans, even he burnt a really good quarterback in Jalen Ramsey. Where was all this? Gronk catching balls down the seam. Where was all this? I can tell you where it was at. I can tell you how these guys came back. It came back because of the Dak Prescott treatment. And by Dak Prescott, I mean soft coverage. That's what happens. But it was a tough game. I'm not going to lie to you. They almost came back. They tied the game up. But the way that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are structured, we all know that these guys are destined for absolute failure. The thing that has kept them out of games for so long this entire season reared his ugly head. Cooper Kupp got behind the defense to set up, oh man, a Matt Gay field goal. Now, the crazy thing about this, folks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers cut this dude. They cut Matt Gay because they felt he wasn't good enough to kick for them. Boy, how things have turned. The same man that you let go was the same man that shined on y'all in this game. Matt Gay. I know he has to feel good about himself. I know he does. But Tampa, I would say that you had a good season. I mean, I guess you can say that. You all won the South. You still lost to the Saints twice in dominant fashion by the Saints. And we all know that everybody came back because of Tom Brady. But you have guys like Chris Godwin who tore the ACL, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not going to try to come back on a hometown discount after this. You have other guys that need to get signed. Shaq Barrett, guys that, you know, that are part of your organization that you're going to have to think about signing. What's going to happen next? That's all I want to know, okay? But you sold your soul for riches and you got rich for a year. But now, back to reality, losers. You're back to the back of the line. Time to get back to the back of the line like y'all been for I don't know how long. And yes, I do feel good. And yes, I am happy that you lost. And I'm supposed to call it down the middle. But in this case, I'm not. I'm not calling it down the middle. You know why I'm not calling it down the middle? Because I've been hearing how great this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team been and how much they just better than everybody in the South. And we can beat the Saints and we better than the Saints and we all this, that, and the third. That's all I've been hearing. But talk that noise now. Okay? Yeah, the Saints did not make the playoffs. The Saints were on the couch. That just means that the Saints had a 2-week head start for you guys because y'all are right next to the New Orleans Saints. The pathetic, the sorry excuse of a fan base that barely got fans. The only reason why y'all got fans is because of Tom Brady. Don't have no loyalty at all, no shame at all. Okay, you got New England Patriot fans combining with Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans, and now y'all want to get up here and talk as if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, y'all been riding with these boys for decades. Knock it off. Back to reality. Losers. Okay? That's what you all were today. A bunch of losers. Okay? Losers. But let's go ahead and talk about some of this stuff that transpired. We'll answer some of your questions. Let's start with Mark. Mark says, what Saints are going to do when Pittsburgh Steelers sign Jameis Winston for $12 million a year to replace Big Ben? Well, since that did not happen yet, I don't know what they're going to do. Okay, all that is just pure speculation. I don't know what they're going to do. But if he does sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'll tell you what they need to do. They need to go out here and find themselves another quarterback because I still stand by what I said. You ain't winning a damn thing with Taysom Hill as your quarterback. He's not the guy that's going to win you a game. He's not the guy that's going to make the throw to win the game. And as soon as people start to realize that, the better. Okay. And I feel like it's extremely hypocritical to all of the people out there that's talking about Jameis Winston. Felt like Jameis Winston isn't the answer, but you can turn around and say Taysom Hill is the answer. Jameis has shown more promise at the quarterback position than Taysom Hill. So if he does go to Pittsburgh, you need to find yourself another quarterback because I ain't trying to roll into the season with no Taysom Hill. Where's the proof? Where's the proof that Taysom Hill is a gamer? Where's the proof that he can put the team on his back? Where's the proof that if you down by 3 touchdowns, he can come in and throw 3 touchdowns to get in order to get your team back into the game? Where's the proof? All the stuff that people talk about is just pure speculation. It's because you like the guy. It's because you want him to do well. And you're looking at it from the eyes of a fan and not the eyes of a realist. If you're being real, you will want a guy like Jameis Winston to come back to the Saints. You will want a guy like him to be able to be the quarterback because based on what I seen after he left, we need him much more than a lot of you are giving him credit for. I can tell you that. I'm not going to lie. I thought the Bucs were going to come back at the end. You know what? I thought for a minute they were going to come back too. I really did. I mean, between all the fumbles and even like Matthew Stafford almost fumbled. I mean, I don't know, man. It just made me think about, some of those scripts in Hollywood, man. I'm like, like when they have that losing underdog team that start get beaten the first half and then all of a sudden they have this rah-rah speech in the locker room. Then they run out and they pull out every play in the book and a fumble here and the interception there. And then they end up winning by a field goal and they win a championship for some apparent reason. That's what this felt like, man. I felt like I was watching Little Giants or the Replacements or you know what I'm saying? Like Any Given Sunday or something. Like that's what it felt like because I don't want to believe that a team like the Rams was going to wet the bed like that. I mean, that would have been an epic choke job. It would have been the second biggest choke job I ever seen in history. Okay, only by 1 point. Another team I know who will remain nameless, they gave up a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl. Some of y'all may know what I'm talking about here. The Rams were about to give up a 24-point lead in the divisional round. So, I mean, somebody was about to wet the bed. That's all I want to know. There was about, I mean, am I wrong? It looked like they was about to wet the bed. Scroll down a little bit. K says, congrats. Got beat in your own stadium. Exactly. Back to reality, losers, says Josh and TJ Jones. Definitely back to reality. Being the snake-bitten franchise that y'all always been. I don't know. All of a sudden, like you sign up, you get a guy I don't understand this, man. Just because a guy comes in with prestige and he comes in with a huge pedigree, you know what I'm saying, that's illustrious, don't mean that that represents you. No, that represents him. Okay, yeah, y'all won the Super Bowl last year. I'll give you that. Okay, but a lot of y'all acting as if we didn't see y'all for the last 20 years, stinking it up. I mean, y'all talk about Drew Brees, and Drew Brees has beaten y'all what, 20 times. Drew Brees has played the Buccaneers 30 times in his career. He's beaten them 20. Okay, among like history, the Saints, I mean, have like one of the largest leads against a division rival in history against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is the reason why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, every time they win something, they come over here and they look at the Saints because they want to be validated. But we all know that once this dude number 12 hangs it up, that's it for y'all. I mean, let's just be serious about this, man. There's nowhere in the world you take who, I don't know, even know who y'all got, Ryan Griffin. I mean, Blaine Gabbert or something like that. I mean, you take Blaine Gabbert and put him out here. You think y'all about to come back from 27-3? What y'all think gonna happen when Tom Brady goes? Do y'all really think that y'all gonna be legitimate? Like, seriously, do you think you're gonna be legitimate because of your coach? I mean, honestly, man, Bruce Arians, I like the fire, I like the passion, I like how he keeps it 100. But this dude is just standing on the side with a fanny pack across his chest and hoping that Tom Brady can deliver to make him look good. This dude has made a career of other people making him look good. Ben Roethlisberger making him look good. Carson Palmer making him look good. Peyton Manning making him look good. You know what I'm saying? Like Andrew Luck making him look good. This dude has made a career out of holding on to quarterbacks to make him look good. And all of a sudden, oh, he trained with Peyton Manning. I mean, where the wins at, man? Like, seriously, where the winning at? This dude, as many guys as he's coached, they're known for one thing when he's coaching them, and that's throwing a whole bunch of interceptions. But these guys are Hall of Famers that I'm talking about. So it's going to conjoin him with their success. You know, it's almost like, to me, like if a guy's a great offensive play caller, and, you know, you have like another guy that's, you know, behind him, but he's the offensive coordinator, but a head coach calling the plays. That's why people don't look at it that way. Bruce Arians is the biggest, like, honestly, this dude is a con artist to me. And you think that you all are going to win something because of him? The moment Tom Brady leaves your organization. I know some people will say this, or they say this about the Saints, but I'm dead serious. The day that Tom Brady leaves the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I want him to leave on his own accord. I don't want to see him get stretched out or nothing like that. But the way this team is structured right now, if Tom Brady was to lead this organization, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would be dead freaking last in the NFC South. You know it, and I know it. Unless y'all like catch lightning in a bottle again and end up getting somebody like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, then maybe y'all can start winning again. But it's just the truth, man. Like, y'all are not structured. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not structured for long-term success. They're in win now mode. I mean, everything about them is win now. I mean, you got Todd Bowles, who's most likely about to get a coaching job somewhere. You got Byron Leftwich, who's most likely going to get a head coaching job somewhere. You don't know how long Bruce Arians is going to be there. And even if he's there, I can't see him putting the staff together that's going to be winning anything. And honestly, I would love to keep Bruce Arians on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coaching staff. I would love for him to be the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as long as possible, because I know for a fact that he can't beat the Saints more times than he cannot beat the Saints more times than the Saints can beat him. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. I don't know. I'm kind of messed up what I was saying, but he can't beat the Saints. I'm confident that he can't beat the Saints consistently. That's all. I'm going to just leave it at that. After BA slapped Adams on the head, I see what kind of person he is. I wouldn't want to play for a coach like that. That was pathetic. Look, I don't know what was that all about. Heat of a moment. I don't know, man. Look, I don't know Bruce Arians as a person. All I know is I would love to keep him as the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you, as a Saints fan, if you're watching this right now, you should want him as the head coach. I mean, I'm just going to leave it at that. They actually called the penalty on Tom Brady for yelling at the ref. Yeah, man, it was one of those days, man. Maybe they did that, you know, to try to create that script that they're trying to make. You know, that all my children guiding light script. It looked like that game was going towards. The Bucs have a lot of big name players on the team that will be free agents in a couple of months. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that, man, because I feel like, I can't talk about it because this show is not only on the State of the Saints podcast. Excuse me, I'm actually trying to look something up right now. It's not only on the State of the Saints, but it's on the State of the game too. So I don't feel bad about talking about this. So let's go ahead and break this down, man. Let's see who the free agents are for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I asked everybody in the meantime, hit that like button if you enjoy the State of the Saints podcast. I really appreciate that. If you go ahead and hit that like button, let everybody know you enjoy the show. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so unrestricted free agents. Unrestricted free agents. You have Chris Godwin, unrestricted. Jason Pierre-Paul, unrestricted. Ryan Jensen, unrestricted. And Ndamukong Suh, unrestricted. Gronkowski, Golston, Leonard Fournette, O.J. Howard, Blaine Gabbert, Ronald Jones, Richard Sherman, Giovanni Bernard. Who else we got on the list? I mean, just the list goes on and on. You got Le'Veon Bell, who I forgot was even on the team. Alex Kappa. That's the majority of your team right there. That's the majority of your team. So I don't know what to say. Josh, thank you very much for the $2. Says, I feel Josh Allen played better than Mahomes. I think they both played well. I'm going to be honest with you. I think they both left it out on the field. I think both of them don't have anything to hit in their head and shame about. They both did an outstanding job. And I mean, I enjoyed watching that game. That was a great game. But you had to believe whoever won that coin toss was going to win that game. No doubt about that. No doubt about that at all. Big Sean says, Todd Bowles is who beat us in the divisional round last year, not Arians. I still stand by the fact that they beat themselves. The Saints beat themselves. And I don't feel bad about saying this because a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan probably tell you and roll their eyes like, no, we beat y'all. If the Saints don't turn the ball over against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, somebody tell me what their record is when Tom Brady was the quarterback. The Saints beat them 4 times, okay? The Saints fumbling the football. You know what I'm saying? Like the turning the ball over. That's what got them beat. It wasn't the fact, look, I still stand by that. They won that game in the divisional round, yes, but they were not and still aren't a better team than the New Orleans Saints. I mean, we come into this world and we try to make it seem like if a team makes the playoffs or a team, gets further in the playoffs, that means they're better than that other team. No, you're not going to tell me that the Giants were better than that undefeated Patriots team. I'm not buying that. You're not going to tell me a couple of years back, though, that Giants team was better than that 15-1 Green Bay Packers team that beat them in Lambeau. You're not going to tell me that, okay? You are not going to convince me that team, was better. The 13-3 New Orleans Saints team that, played the Rams, they were better than, the Rams were better than them. I cannot buy that, man, and I won't buy it. Sometimes you catch a team at the right time, things start to go your way, and you win. That don't mean, in my opinion, that you better than that team. That just means that you lost that day. I mean, like I said, it's not the NBA Finals. It's not the best of 7 series in some of these major sports that we see. It's one game, right? You go out there, you play horrible one game, you out. There is no tomorrow. So if you're telling me that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because they beat the Saints in the divisional round, they were better than the Saints, I would say I don't believe you. You can believe what you want, but history says it's different. And that's the same team that won that Super Bowl that the Saints have beaten on 4 different occasions. I like Leftwich, but Tom Brady is the offense and Todd Bowles is the defense. Basically, that's what it all comes down to, in my honest opinion. And I just want to let everybody know this isn't one of those, long shows. This is more of the State of the Saints podcast minute. It's what we're going to be doing in the off season. It's not going to be like some of the longer shows. I mean, mostly because, the season is over pretty much when it comes to like Saints news and stuff like that, post game, and all that. So still want to keep you guys up to date on some of the Saints topics that we have. So I just wanted to kind of change some things up, and just kind of just pick a topic that involves the New Orleans Saints, and we'll just take it from there. But it's called the State of the Saints Podcast Minute, and it's available on all streaming platforms. But let's go ahead and talk about the other games. Let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans. First off, congratulations to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals going to the AFC Championship the first time since 1988. That means that the last time the Cincinnati Bengals went to the AFC Championship, my wife was a baby, okay? My wife was born in 1988. I don't feel bad about saying that. I mean, I'm pretty sure she doesn't care I'm saying that, but it's just the truth, okay? The Cincinnati Bengals have been a snake-bitten franchise for a lot of years. Bad management, cheapskate owners, guys that they hold on to way too long. But now they got a guy that they can invest in. Not only do they have a guy they can invest in, but it's one of their own. Okay, he's Ohio made. We love him because he went to LSU, won a Heisman, gave him a national championship. And yes, you know what I'm saying, we do consider him as as a member of the Louisiana community. But the guy's from Ohio. I mean, he was born and raised there, and I'm pretty sure him going to the Cincinnati Bengals and able to help change the narrative of how people see the Cincinnati Bengals has to be a plus for him. And not only that, he has his teammate that he has great chemistry with ever since they were in college with Jamar Chase. You got T. Higgins from Clemson. I mean, you got, the tight end, Uzma, you know what I'm saying? I think that's his name. I can't think. Well, I know it's something like that. I mean, I know it's kind of something to a UFC fighter. But anyway, the tight end, you know what I'm saying? Like these guys can really play, and then you got Joe Mixon running in between the tackles and catching the ball out of the backfield. So the way that I look at this team, I mean, these guys, I mean, the sky's the limit for them. I think this is only the beginning. I mean, if there's like no injuries or anything like that happens, I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be here to stay. You got to love Joe Burrows, his warrior mentality. I mean, the guy got sacked 9 times in the game. And the guy still got up every single time, didn't blame nobody, wasn't out there yelling and screaming at his offensive line, even though, I mean, I would have. I mean, these guys made Cesar Ruiz and Andres Pete look like they were, Larry Allen and Jari Evans or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys look absolutely horrible out there. I mean, these guys couldn't hold ice water. I mean, honestly, they couldn't hold a cardboard sign the way that these guys were trying to protect Joe Burrow, man. I mean, honestly, the fact that this guy got back up and he's well right now is nothing short of a miracle. But they found a way to win. And the Tennessee Titans, yet again, found a way to lose. And, Tennessee Titan fans, they'll get mad at me. They'll say, well, TJ, you don't follow the Titans. You don't really know what's going on. When I say stuff like Ryan Tannehill is not the answer. But yet, it's like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. Why would people see guys like a Ryan Tannehill in postseason play, when they see a guy like this, when they see that a guy is basically a one-trick pony, okay? When they see a guy cannot make plays unless you actually have a battering ram running back that's out there right now. The best thing Ryan Tannehill does is the play-action pass. If you eliminate Derrick Henry from the equation, they are not winning jack. There's a reason why they had like 8-9 turnovers over a 4 or 5 game stretch. There's a reason why this dude was out here throwing picks like Razor Ramon. It's because this dude cannot do it on his own. And I know some people will say, well, TJ, in the same breath, you'll talk about Jameis Winston. The reason I talk about Jameis Winston is because, hell, Jameis Winston can make all the throws. Jameis Winston can throw the ball on play action. He can throw the ball on the run. He can throw short passes. He can throw passes down the field. So this guy's proven that he can make all the throws. Ryan Tannehill is a train wreck. And as long as this dude continues to be the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, they aren't winning jack. Okay? If Derrick Henry goes down, this guy is not good enough to pick this team up and have them on a winning streak. He's just not. I mean, that's just the way I see it. So they got a choice. They can continue to keep on doing the same thing, right? Being insane, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Or they can go out here and try to draft a young, promising quarterback, or they can go out here and sign a young, promising quarterback. Okay, like this is bad right now. There's no way in the world that those guys, as talented as they are, should be losing like that consistently. You had the 1 seed, okay? That means you're the best team at this particular time in AFC, and you couldn't get a playoff game. All you had to do was win, and you would have been in the AFC Championship in your own home stadium. As long as Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, they ain't winning nothing, okay? A Tennessee Titan fan can argue with me all they want to, but they know the truth, okay? I feel like this. If you got to squint and you're, and you are really not sure and you can't say this with your whole chest, you don't need to be saying it at all. You don't need to be saying it at all. The Titans, another overrated, overhyped team who's wasting Derrick Henry. Brought him back so they could lose. Ryan Tannehill is trash. Bengals have to fix that offensive line, and they said they got everything else, in my opinion. Yeah, man, the offensive line sucks. I think it's going to be a huge liability next week, against the Kansas City Chiefs. And trust and believe, you can't have 3 and outs against this Kansas City Chiefs team. They will carve you the hell up. All right. So they got to figure some things out. They got to figure it out. If they don't, they're in a lot of trouble. I mean, I'm just going to leave it at that. It must be real standing up. Nah, not really, man. Look, I got a new desk. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my wife. My wife got me an elevating desk that goes up and down. So, I actually enjoy standing up. I like standing up better than sitting down. Some shows I might end up sitting down. But I like standing up, man. I like, to be able to move around and really, really push the, my thoughts and my views home. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to my wife. Love my desk, man. And yeah, man, trying to do it Pat McAfee style today. Let's see. Tannehill should go play Taysom Hill, tight end, running back, wide receiver, quarterback, special team. Look, I'm not saying that Ryan Tannehill can't play. Okay, the dude decent. I just don't think that he should be a franchise quarterback. I don't. I mean, I don't want to say garbage time, but if somebody goes down, good backup quarterback, yeah. But I just can't see this guy like lead nobody nowhere. TJ, why you keep bringing me into this? Jack. Thank you for the $2. Look, man, because we know that Tampa Bay knows a lot about you today when it comes to them winning anything. They ain't winning jack, okay? So it's not my fault. It's Tampa Bay fault. They're the ones that brought you up today when they didn't win jack, okay? Let's see. Live, Laugh, and Love says toe cheese. And I guess they're referring to the Green Bay Packers game, which game I was going to talk about next. Look, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. I told you, okay? I don't get behind this mic and tell y'all stuff based on me having some type of, reservations or some type of ulterior motive about somebody. No, okay? People get mad at me because, man, you don't know what you're talking about. Because when you come to me, not all of you, but there are a few that come to me, and you come to me emotionally, okay? Because maybe you was talking to your friends, and maybe you was talking to your coworker or something like that, and you had a certain opinion, and then you probably hear me say something completely different, and now you're really speaking from your heart and not really being real about this, which leads me to my point. Shouts out to Barber Creations out here in Myrtle Beach. I was actually at the barbershop the other day, and I was sitting in the chair, had 2 gentlemen, the barber that cuts the other person's hair, not the one that cuts mine. But I like to have a little bit of a debate with him, and I'm pretty sure he's watching this right now. We having a conversation, started talking to me about San Francisco 49ers, Green Bay Packers. So I said that the 49ers were going to win. And the guy told me, he said, man, you crazy. I said, why do you think I'm crazy? He says, because the 49ers got Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, fair enough. Jimmy Garoppolo isn't going to set the world on fire. Jimmy Garoppolo isn't going to go out here and probably throw for a million yards. Maybe if he played the Saints, during that time when the Saints didn't really have a defense. But, I mean, the guy is 9-2, and he's serviceable. So I was like, okay, whatever. So he says, I say, man, the 49ers are going to win against the Green Bay Packers. Says I'm crazy. Says if this is what he said. He said if the Green Bay Packers lose to the 49ers, he will pay for my next haircut. So guess what? I will be in that thing and I will be getting my new fresh, free haircut. Okay, I just want to make that very clear. But the point that I'm trying to make is just like boxing, styles make fights, right? The San Francisco 49ers are a physical football team. That is what I said. They are physical. The Green Bay Packers, they play physical, okay? But in reality, they aren't. Okay, you can act and pretend that you're something, but it's just a matter of time before the world realizes that you ain't about that life. They started off on that first drive trying to match intensity. They were trying to match. This isn't something that occurs every single week with them, okay? It's just not them. The 49ers eat, sleep, breathe aggression, okay? With Deebo Samuels running in between the tackles, all hard out there. You got guys like George Kittle. You got Elijah Mitchell. Not a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, not a bunch of guys that have really established themselves yet like Elijah Mitchell or Ayuk. But these guys are good enough and serviceable enough to go out there and play. These guys play as if they are, the best wide receivers in football. You don't see these guys tiptoeing out of bounds. You don't see these guys being afraid of contact. These guys finish runs like running backs. And when you have a team like that, to me, they can beat anybody. The Green Bay Packers are not a physical football team. They're soft, okay? And it was proven. People can talk about special teams and all that kind of stuff there, but then I would have to say to you, well, why is everybody telling me that they have a quarterback who is arguably the greatest quarterback of all time? Which leads me to my next point. What in the hell has Aaron Rodgers done for us to be considering him as the greatest of all time? Aaron Rodgers has been making it, in my humble opinion, of just basically having great arm talent. People love to watch him play quarterback, him throwing the ball, fitting into tight windows and all that kind of stuff. But what has he done? People would tell me, oh, he better than Drew Brees. How? Drew Brees has won the same amount of Super Bowls as him, have more yards, have more touchdowns, better completion percentage. Head-to-head record is better. I don't understand how anybody can say that. I just feel like this dude is one of those guys who the NFL feels like they can market. And because they can market him, they put him on the forefront. They put him at the forefront, I should say, and they elevate him. And I'm not saying that he's bad. He's incredible. But all I'm saying is we talk about choke jobs. This dude's name never comes up. When we talk about playoff losses, his name never comes up. When we talk about double-digit wins, 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, this dude's name never comes up. But we won't talk about him because he lied about being vaccinated. I mean, that's the least of what we need to be talking about, in my opinion, when it comes to sports. If he don't want to be vaccinated, that's his opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's on him. Okay? I want to talk about the fact that this dude continuously wet the bed and don't nobody say nothing about it. Don't nobody really mention it. Oh, but he has arm talent. Did you see that throw that he threw on a 3rd and 15? Yeah, I've seen it, but I seen they lost too. But why we ain't worrying about that, though? Why we not talking about this dude actually losing big-time games? But they will tell me that Drew Brees doesn't belong on the 100-year team or the century team because of this same situation. But you will bring up Aaron Rodgers. Man, knock it off. Knock it off, man. The fact is, Aaron Rodgers is a choke artist. People have been talking about Aaron Rodgers all these years, but they never bring up the fact that this dude wets the bed in big-time situations. There is nowhere in the world you're supposed to be as good as you are, as talented as you are, and your team is out there fighting to advance to the NFC Championship game, and you don't muster up not one touchdown, not one. Okay? And don't give me that stuff about, oh, you only had one receiver, because even though I don't like, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that much, at least Tom Brady, old tail, threw about 2 or 3 touchdowns today. Okay? So I can't accept that. Okay? If you're going to tell me that this dude is the best quarterback since sliced toast bread, you're going to tell me that he up there slinging that thing around and he the last of the Mohegans when it comes to arm talent, then we need to be talking about the fact that this dude is not, I repeat, is not clutch in the postseason. Okay? If you're going to tell me Drew Brees ain't clutch, talk to me about Aaron Rodgers too. Because to me, you can't talk about one without the other, in my honest opinion. Hoodie Jew, thank you very much for 499. Says, what up, TJ? Who that to you, man? Appreciate it, Hoodie Jew. What's going on with you, man? Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate that. Let me see. San Francisco is going to whoop the Rams like they keep doing. 49ers are for real. Look, I don't know if the beatings, okay, are going to start to affect the Rams or not. All I know is it's hard to beat a team 3 times. And I think Saints fans, you know what I'm talking about here. Buccaneers got lost to the Rams. Shout out to them. They came back, scored at the fourth quarter. Tom Brady and Gronk are going to retire after the postseason playoff game against the Rams next season. They're going to be so scared and desperate without Tom Brady and Gronk. Bruce Arians got to go next season for real. So miss me with that same old negativity stuff. I'm just being dead serious. Look, I don't know what they're going to do this season or next season, but I do know this. As of right now, them boys on the couch. And I do know this. Once Tom Brady goes, unless they about to get all-world quarterback, they're going to be right back in the bottom of the basement. Look, this is not long-term success. I'm keep telling people this, and I'm going to continue to say this. This is not long-term success. Getting a couple guys, that they have a little bit left in the tank and trying to get many wins as you possibly can up out of them is not long-term success. And anybody that believes that is sadly mistaken. And we know that any other quarterback that was out there today, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would have got waxed. Aaron Rodgers had a better career than Brett Favre. No, I can't say that because even Brett Favre, Brett Favre, you know what I'm saying? Even Brett Favre went to 2 Super Bowls, right? He lost to the Denver Broncos and he beat the New England Patriots. So even Brett Favre went to the Super Bowl twice, okay? Out of all them interceptions that he threw and all that kind of stuff, at least he went to the Super Bowl twice. And if we're going to talk about the Saints, all those games they won without the Super Bowl, need to be talking about the Packers too. Because the Packers, as of right now, have a 1-game lead over the New Orleans Saints for teams that with the most wins to not reach the Super Bowl. They're at 39 and the Saints are at 38. So the way I look at it, the Green Bay Packers are who I think they are, which are choke artists. Okay, and it's probably going to get worse because you didn't sign back Deontay Adams. You know what I'm saying? You didn't sign. You're not going to sign back Aaron Rodgers more than likely, and you got a bunch of guys on your offensive line that you have to negotiate deals with. Guys that I don't feel like are going to want to stay if they don't feel like Aaron Rodgers is coming back. So Green Bay Packers may be in a lot of trouble. When Apple was in New York, people took his lunch money. Yeah, look, man. We talk about Eli Apple all they want to, man. Look, I think Eli Apple is a solid cornerback, okay? I just think that a lot of us look for if a guy isn't shut down, locked down, Jalen Ramsey style, Lattimore style, Reaver style, then they're not serviceable. Everybody can't be those guys, all right? I think he's a solid guy. And so what if he's talking? He has a right to talk. Dude, in the AFC Championship game. I don't feel bad about that. I don't look at guys being sorry because a guy allows a wide receiver to get behind him. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, or in front of him, rather. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't. Okay. I completely disagree with some of the takes on how people see the cornerback position. Because the cornerback position to me is a hard position to play. Okay, it's a very hard position to play. It is at least top 3 positions that you can play that's toughest to me. Offensive line is 1, quarterback is 2, cornerback is 3. Okay, because you never get more praise than criticism. I had people talking today. Mike Evans gets behind Jalen Ramsey. Man, Jalen Ramsey, he a number 1 corner. What? I mean, come on, man. Like a clock, you know what I'm saying, is right twice a day, they say, right? How many times do y'all see this dude out here getting smoked, roasted, and toasted? But he let Mike Evans catch one pass on him. All of a sudden, he not good no more. How do we look at these guys? You know, but I ain't putting Eli Apple in that same category. But what I'm saying is the dude is in the AFC Championship game, and the Saints are at the crib. So, and you know, we have to admit, you know, that interception that was caught for McPherson to even, you know, catch that, do that. I mean, catch that field goal had a lot to do with Eli Apple putting his hand in, popping the ball up in the air. So I'm gonna give him some credit, man. Give that man some credit. Apple graduated with a basket weaving degree minor in stitching. Adam Lazard and Scantling will be free agents, or Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Alan Lazard. Okay, and Adam. So your whole wide receiver group. And I don't see. I might see like somebody like Scantling or Lazard coming back because there's opportunity for a chance for them to get more touches. So is Trey Hendrickson. What are we talking about here? What about Trey Hendrickson? Eli Apple said, "This what I want to do to them Ravens, Saints, and Giant fans with a video of Stephon Diggs tackling a Chiefs fan who ran on the field." I don't know. Shoot. I mean, look, he got a lot of. I can understand why he feel the way that he does. I mean, some of the Saints fans didn't make this man feel very welcome. You know, like, I mean, this dude was like the subject of criticism like every single week. So, I mean, I can't get mad at that. Man, a lot of us didn't make this man feel welcome. I don't know how many episodes I've done of this talking about we need to get rid of Eli Apple. Eli Apple sucked. I mean, you don't think this guy can hit his stuff? TJ, congrats to Apple by jabbing at Saints. Gets your jabs. Well, look, man, like I said, he can say whatever he wants. You know, like I said, a lot of people didn't make this man feel welcome. So I don't understand why people can feel like they can talk about this man, slander this dude, talk about him, make fun of him, and then all of a sudden when he say something back, oh, well, let me hear what he said about the Saints fan. Hell, did you hear what the Saints fan said about him? Because we can go back into the archives, and I feel like it's well within his rights to say how he feels. Because you have a lot of Saints fans that did not like this dude when he was here. I mean, I'm not going to pretend because I'm a Saints fan. Who the heck would want to go play in Green Bay without Rodgers or Favre? Good question. You think A-Rod leaving the Packers, TJ? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Rodgers and Adams is gone. I don't know where, but these guys are bouncing. Well, me personally, if I'm a betting man, and I feel like I've been on a roll this whole weekend, so why the heck not? Why not have another shocking take? I feel like, and this is going to be interesting, and we have a stake in this, folks. Yes, that's right. This take I'm about to have, I feel like the Saints. How am I going to word this? I feel like his decision, and I'm talking about Adams, is going to affect the Saints because I really strongly feel that Devontae Adams is going to play for the Falcons. I'm serious. I feel like he's going to end up landing with the Atlanta Falcons. You look at Calvin Ridley, most likely he's going to be out in Atlanta. They need themselves a solid number one receiver. You don't have Julio anymore. You don't have a bunch of big contracts. You got a bunch of young guys that you're trying to build. You still got Matt Ryan. I see Devontae Adams playing for the Falcons. I'm being dead serious. It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me at all if Devontae Adams is not a member of the Falcons this season. I still feel like the NFL is rigged to get LA in the Super Bowl in LA. They've been building this for a few years, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, look, I really thought that the NFC Championship game, I feel like the NFL had like some type of interest in that. Having an LA market is tough. They haven't had a football team in a long time, and you have so many things that you're competing with, right? I mean, you got all these different things going on. You got Calabasas, you got all these house parties, rubbing elbows with celebrities. You got the Lakers out there, even though they're a train wreck, in my opinion. They still the Lakers. You got the Clippers out there. I mean, you got the Dodgers. You got all these different things that you can choose from, even like Hollywood itself, right? And you have these guys who, if they're not going out there, generating excitement, winning football games. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for the city of Los Angeles. So how do you do that? Okay, I used to use this example back in the day. When I was managing a store, right? When I used to be a retail manager before I got into radio. We used to have cigarettes, right? And every now and then they'll come out with some new Marlboros or some new Newports. And what they'll do is they'll make them cheap, right? They'll make them cheaper than some of these Premier cigarettes. And why would they do that? Because a person that's on a budget, they'll look and say, you know what? It's cheap. Think I might give this a try, right? And then all of a sudden, when they start smoking them, it might become their premier choice. Putting the Los Angeles Rams in some of these situations, championships, winning a bunch of games, it starts to generate interest. Makes people want to come to the games, make people want to get involved, make them want to know who's on the team, makes them fans of players on the team. And that's how buzz is created, right? When you're trying to compete with so many other things that's going on in Los Angeles. So by them winning, I do feel like it is going to create buzz in Los Angeles. It's going to create a lot of revenue for the Kroenke family, as well as the owners of the Chargers. So why not? Well, watch how empty this stadium is next year. Yeah, talking about the Packers. Yeah, man. All that. If you losing, man, ain't nobody trying to be out there in no cold. What are your thoughts about the new rumors about Sean Payton not committing in 2022? Any true? Keep up the good work and wishing you continued success. Paul, I almost thought I got out of this show without somebody asking me this question. I almost got away. But Paul, thank you very much for the $4.99. Look, I don't believe anything that is out there right now. Look, all this stuff is just pure speculation. Haven't heard anything from Sean Payton. As far as I know, Sean Payton is still the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. And the way that they got Sean Payton looking out here, I've just never seen Sean Payton actually work like that. I just never have. I've never seen Sean Payton operate like this. I feel like if Sean Payton felt like he needed to step down, I think he would have said something by now. I don't think that Sean Payton would be going into like late in the season or late in the off season, and not say anything about this. I just don't feel that way. I don't. So I don't believe it, man. I mean, I've heard these things, man, and shouts out to my guy Brian McFadden. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to him earlier, and he was saying, he said it before everybody else came out with it. He sent me the video, and I'm like, how did he get this? I still don't know how he got it. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I would think that he would actually have these conversations with his players. I don't think that, this would be on some Rick Pitino type stuff, right? Leaving a letter in the player's locker, and when he went to Arkansas. I don't see Sean Payton doing that. So until Sean Payton comes out and said he actually leaving, I don't believe it. And I haven't really talked about it that much because I felt like it wasn't even worth talking about, to be honest with you. I don't feel like it's worth talking about. I just feel like this is one of those desperate attempts, for the most part, for all these talking heads to be able to talk about Sean Payton, maybe Sean Payton watching some of these sports shows and get them thinking, because that's all they do. They're hoping that the eyes of the agent or the eyes of the person actually sees what they're talking about to get their mind wondering. And so they put these analysts on television and give these guys all these scenarios about these destination spots and maybe give them some food for thought they didn't even think about. And the only person that's winning right now, wouldn't surprise me at all, would be the agent. What is the agent's job? An agent's job is to make sure that they get the most money for their client, make sure that they put their client in the best position to make as much money as possible. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. Sean Payton, a lot of people say this is probably his best coaching job as the member of New Orleans Saints. 4 different quarterbacks starting, 57 different starters throughout the lineup, and the Saints were only 1 game away from entering the playoffs. A lot of people would consider that as his greatest coaching job. So a lot of people, we've had conversations about this. Sean Payton should be coach of the year. has done a coach of the year type job. So what's it to an agent to put this out here like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Sean is thinking about leaving, to maybe have somebody in the Saints organization be like, hold on, wait a minute now. Maybe we need to work out a contract. I look, this is business at the end of the day. I know we like sports. I know we like it, but this is a business. So it would not surprise me at all if, an agent put this out here, because who y'all think put these stories out about these players? Oh, they're not happy. They're not satisfied. Who do you think put this out there? You think the organization's calling Ian Rappaport and all these guys on the phone? Heck no. It's the agents. Oh, man, I got my client. What about him? He's not happy. He's not satisfied, man. They don't want to pay him. All of a sudden, breaking news, such and such is not happy. He's not happy with his new contract. And all of a sudden, here comes the story. So wouldn't surprise me at all. Okay, look what's at stake. The biggest story they're talking about is him going to Fox, right? If Troy Aikman goes to Paramount, that's what they're saying. They're talking about a $15 million contract. I mean, get somebody in the Saints organization to think that Sean Payton might take that $15 million versus not coach the Saints. Maybe we need to talk to Sean. Maybe we need to renegotiate his contract a little bit, give him a few more perks for him to stay. It's all about leverage, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, no matter how many times your favorite football player, favorite basketball player stands in front of the mic and says, "Oh, I love this organization. I love the fans. I love them, man. They root so hard, man, and their energy it brings me up. It makes me want to go out there and run through a wall. It makes me want to shoot that three. It makes me want to win a championship for them. Blah 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 blah. All lip service. All that stuff goes out the window if you don't pay a guy. So that's just the way I look at it. I'm going to take a few more, and then we're going to get up out of here, folks. We got Sean Payton is on vacation with his new wife. People in media create a story for nothing. Since when did James Slater or Ian Rappaport become a Saints insider? It's a good question, I mean, James Slater, to me, who does she follow? The Dallas Cowboys, right? I mean, most of the time she's chilling out there at Dallas, following Jerry Jones around, hoping that Jerry Jones give her a soundbite. Now, all of a sudden, Sean Payton leads the Saints. Who everybody talking about him going to? The Dallas Cowboys. Wouldn't they love to see the Dallas Cowboys coach? Sean Payton coach the Dallas Cowboys. Wouldn't they love to see that? Because he's such a good coach. Because like I said, folks, anybody that's a New Orleans Saints fan or a small market team fan, like you should know this by now. You should know this. They do not want to see small market teams thrive. They do not. They want to see these guys at the bottom of the barrel. In a lot of cases, I feel like football wish they can be like baseball, where there are different salary caps based on the team, based on the organization. Like the Yankees have a bigger salary cap than the Orioles or the Oakland A's, right? Or the Boston Red Sox have a higher salary cap than the Milwaukee Brewers. I think the NFL would love to have it like that, because I don't feel like they want to see teams like the New Orleans Saints be relevant. They don't want to see teams like a Jacksonville Jaguars be relevant. They don't want to see teams, that are in small markets that they feel like they have to talk about. Green Bay is a little bit of an exception because they're a historical franchise, but they don't want to talk about these guys. So anything that they can do to try to make these teams go back to being irrelevant, to have them tossed into the pit of, a misery for years to come, that bottomless pit, they all for it. They want to see guys like Sean Payton coaching these big-time organizations so they can continue to get this revenue, they can continue to get these ratings, and all these other stuff there. I mean, that's just the truth. They don't want to see Sean Payton in New Orleans. They don't want to see New Orleans slapping around Tampa, beating up on Tom Brady, making him look like he's Stoney Case or Scott Mitchell or Steve DeBerg or somebody. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see that. They want to see the Saints be the Saints that they remember them being. Every time they have a game, they always tend to bring up, they used to wear bags on their head. They used to be ashamed to be Saints fans. Yeah, about 35, 40 years ago. But I mean, if you're a Saints fan in 2022, you saying who that loud and proud. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You out there, you out there with black and gold, not only on your clothes, but in your soul. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they talking about. But that's the way that I feel they feel, right? But I'll read, let's see, I'll take two more. A lot of big market teams suck half the time. Yeah, Brandon, but they don't want that, man. You don't think they want a team like the Dallas Cowboys to be in the NFC Championship game? You don't think they love the fact that you got the Rams and the 49ers in the NFC Championship game? Even the Chiefs, right? And then you got the dog horse, the Cincinnati Bengals, which was upon a time, well, a really good football team who was going to the Super Bowl and AFC Championship games consistently in the 80s when Kenny Anderson was their quarterback and Boomer Esiason was their quarterback. They was going to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. They was getting slapped around by the 49ers, but they were going. So you have these historical franchises that had players on their team like Deacon Jones, right? And, you know, and Eric Dickerson, right? And Torrey Holt and Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, right? I mean, you had legends like that. That's what they want to see. They ain't trying to see no Saints in no playoffs. They ain't trying to see no Saints in no Super Bowl. Not in my opinion. I mean, after 2018, seriously, can you seriously say, do you think that the NFL wants to see the New Orleans Saints in the Super Bowl? Seriously, after 2018, I don't. I don't. And at this point, I think that they create this narrative that, you know, they're trying to conjoin the Saints to referees. Seriously, I feel like they're trying to conjoin it. They're trying to make this a parody now. We get mad at the referees. The whole 2018 fiasco. Now all of a sudden, live games, TV, it's a battle. Not only a battle between the Saints and their opposition, but it's the Saints, the opposition, you know what I'm saying, and the referees, right? So that's the narrative going on here. So if they can get that narrative going to generate some ratings, why not? Ain't nobody coming to see you, Saints. Well, that's a lie, Chosen. I mean, you know it and I know it, man. I mean, the Saints were one of the most watched teams in the National Football League this season. Saints, they generate a lot of ratings. I don't know what anybody's talking about. You know, so I don't know what they're saying, right? The Saints had the top ratings, even though they played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but the whole world saw them slap them boys around, right? Do you think Sean Payton will get another contract extension? He should, but he signed until 2026, so I don't know. What up, Jerry? Here, just never comment. I was listening. And DLP says, damn media just always trying to tear down the Saints. It's a damn joke. That's my opinion. DLP. I just think they're trying to tear them down. They're trying to make these guys irrelevant. And like I said on a couple shows back, they already felt like one blow was stricken when Drew Brees went into the commentary booth when he retired. Now they feel like the last nail would be in a coffin for the New Orleans Saints if they was to get rid of Sean Payton. And I can't say I blame them, because any other coach that would have been the head coach of the Saints, I don't think they would have had this much success. But that's just me. But once again, congratulations to all of the teams, advancing to the AFC and NFC championship game. We have coming up first will be the AFC championship game. The Kansas City Chiefs will be hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. That will be the first game. And then you have NFC West rivals, okay? Part 3. You have the Los Angeles Rams hosting the San Francisco 49ers. Should be very exciting. Should be a good game to watch. Looking forward to it. Just keep it locked right here to the State of the Saints podcast for all of your up-to-date info on the New Orleans Saints, as well as sports in general, man. We're going to be breaking it down. We're not only going to be talking about Saints news, but also sports news throughout the offseason as well, man. We're going to be talking about different topics on the State of the Game podcast and the State of the Saints. We're going to be talking about the NFL draft. We're going to be getting some individuals on the show that have been to the Senior Bowl. When that comes up, we're going to be talking to a lot of these, pundits out here, mock drafts galore, okay? So we're going to make sure that we get everybody ready for for the 2022 season, this offseason, when it comes to the New Orleans Saints. Just a quick reminder, hit that like button if you enjoy the State of the Saints podcast. Shouts out to everybody that's in the chat. Much love to you. Thank you for making the State of the Saints podcast what it is. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. which is youtube.com. Search The State of the Saints podcast. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, and also a part of the Pigskin Podcast Network, where you can follow on Twitter. Go to Pigskin Pod Net. That is on Twitter. Make sure that you send them a tweet that says TJ sent me. I would really do appreciate that. And also much love to our sponsors. Shouts out to Puma. Go to puma.com. You'll save 20% off by using the promo code 20%. Also, want to give a special shout out to Manscaped. Use the promo code State of Saints and you'll save 20% there. We're just getting started here on the State of the Saints podcast. Tune into the State of the Saints podcast minute for all my people that may not be able to check out the full episodes. We got a little small little podcast coming your way real soon. We did our first installment. I guess this would be considered the second installment of it. So keep it locked right here to the State of the Saints podcast. Much love to you and hope everybody has a good morning, noon, night, whenever you're checking out this podcast. And like always, all I got to say is, who dat?